Welcome back. You are watching the Sunday Footy Show. Still to come, Lordo's Deep Dive. We've also got Brownie's Quiz, Billy's List. He's very excited about that. I'm not entirely sure what all that's about, Bill, but...
About you?
Oh, of course it would be. We haven't hung it on Tony for at least 3 minutes.
Oh, stop crying and whinging, will you?
Well, I tell you what, Essendon, they're the ones who'd be crying and maybe having a little bit of a whinge at the moment, and for good reason. They blew it big time yesterday at Marvel Stadium. There was a crowd, well, a capacity crowd in these times of around 28,000, but Hawthorn just absolutely sensational in the second half. Lordo, tell us all about it.
Amazing, TJ. 8 goals to 1 Essendon's way in the second quarter, and then 8 goals to 1 Hawthorn's way in the third quarter. Dylan Moore had 14 disposals and kick goals in that third quarter. Tom Mitchell was a star. He was the architect through the midfield along with O'Meara. McGrath was brilliant. Merritt was brilliant. But our guest today is who's been a star for a long, long period of time, over a decade for the Hawthorn Football Club. It's Luke Breust. Thanks for joining us, Luke.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for having me.
Can you talk us through what the message was at half-time? I know I don't remember too many coaches' messages, but what was Clarko speaking about at half-time when you go in at 39 points down?
Yeah, well, I guess you're saying all the right things in terms of a play. You want to get the message across. You want to build that belief again. And I think it was around trying to just get a couple goals back, whether we got 2 or 3 in that third quarter to try and set us up into the last to get back into it. But the way it ended up working out, there were, I think it was 16 or 17 minutes of footy and we were nearly back level. So full credit to our boys to believe in themselves and believe in the system and then get back in the game was sensational.
What was exciting, you know, from the outside and just a neutral viewer is the run and carry from Hawthorn. I probably haven't seen that in recent years. It's been, sort of, to me, a dour-looking side, but that must have been exciting as a forward, the way the ball was moving late.
Yeah, for sure. And I think in the first half we got some of that run and carry, but then we just bombed it long. I thought in that second half, our ability to, as you said, run and carry, use our numbers, and then find some marks was what really sort of cut Essendon up.
It's a great goal at the end there to put you in front. But Tom Mitchell, now we talk about stats and there's big numbers these days. A lot of people get big numbers, but that third quarter, 17 disposals, and I mean, they were damaging stats too. I mean, he finished with 9 score involvements himself, the most on the field. It was just a masterclass to get you back in it in the third quarter. Yeah, for sure. And he's worked hard. He's had a shoulder injury during the pre-season, so hasn't been able to do everything. But as you said, I think that architect type play around the midfield was pivotal in terms of us getting... work out of congestion was what it was a couple of years ago. Last year I thought he was just giving small little handballs. Yesterday or last night he was moving out of those congestions. Yeah, for sure, and everyone knows how hard he is inside, but as you said, his ability to spread and get on the end of balls now, and once he gets out now, he's starting to make some really good decisions by foot and really adding to his game.
Some really good signs for the Hawthorn supporters as some youngsters. We saw Will Day burst onto the scene last year, but got to be his best game at AFL level last night. He's had 28, 5 intercept marks and uses it so well. He's a star. Yeah, he's a star. He's building on a really strong first year and doing things like this where he chops out, he reads the ball so well. But we've got other guys like to Blood 3 last night. Brockman had a real impact. Kaczynski, I thought, played a really strong role for us as well. So, yeah, exciting times for our young guys. Can I ask you how physical it was out there last night with the longer games, longer season, interchange rotations? I know you're a great runner. Did you train for it throughout the pre-season, and how did you feel late in the game last night?
I didn't rotate in the last quarter and I was cooked, absolutely cooked. I tried to come off with a couple of minutes to go and they're like, you got to hold, you got to hold. Yeah, so it's certainly taxing on the body. I think we had multiple guys that cramped in that last quarter, so I think it's going to change the game a fair bit in terms of fatigue and guys getting fatigued late in games. We were chatting off air and you lined up on, or Dyson Hepper lined up on you, normally plays in the midfield, went to half back, and it was a really good contest. It was, yeah. I thought Dyson played a fairly strong game, good in the air. He got to some really good spots front and centre of the contest, so, and he used the ball well. So when their midfield's as stacked as it is, it's probably a good play to send him to half back.
The game's changing. Obviously, there hasn't been as many stoppages over the first round of football. We've got the stand rule, the kick in. You can now run it out to 25 metres and then bomb it to the centre of the ground. How you notice the game changing from what you played in last year? Like, can you defend like you used to defend? Because we're seeing so many teams just get broken open. Yeah, I don't think you can. I think there's an element of nearly, because there is so much space in that back half, and it's nearly just let them run and try and shut off exits here and there out the field. But I feel like if you do try and press, you have to know that you've got support and you have to know that you can lock the numbers off. If you just blindly press on players, it's just going to be too easy just to handball over the top and get out.
A great win last night and great to celebrate with the family and fans.
Oh, for sure. To have fans back in the stands and have this sort of stuff again is so good after last year. Last year was such a tough year, and even in the rooms to have family members of debutants and things like that is just absolutely sensational and so good for footy.
Can I ask you about debutants? Because we spoke about this earlier in the program in the case of Connor Downey. There was an opinion on the panel that maybe the 23rd man shouldn't be someone who's actually making his debut. What's your philosophy on the 23rd man?
Yeah, it's definitely not an ideal situation. I was a sub in my debut game, and fortunately for me, I got on and played the majority of the game. In Connor's situation, it didn't happen, so it's hard. I don't know if I've got an opinion either way. Ideally, they're not a debutant, I think, but Connor's earned his spot in the side. He's had an outstanding pre-season. I think he's going to be a great player for us for a long period of time. So, yeah, but ideally, maybe not the sub as a debutant.
Take a look at the votes, TJ. It was Hawthorn and Tom Mitchell, who Browning touched on. That third quarter was phenomenal from Tom. I've given him a 9. Andrew McGrath, I think he'll push hard for potentially a Brownlow this year. That's how advanced I think he is and how dominant. Will Day, the ball use was... He just didn't panic all day. And Jaeger O'Meara, it's good to see him back, and hopefully he hits the form we know he can hit.
Tell you what else is back. The prize pack.
It is indeed. Have a look at this here. You'll love this, Lukey boy. You're a golfer.
I love me golf.
Well, there you go, mate. The Callaway golf pack there, including a dozen Callaway chrome soft golf balls there. Very nice indeed. That is the Travis Matthew caps there. Yes, four of them you get there. No doubt about that. The Aquilas. Oh, I got them on today. Brand new. They've been king golf since 1958. They're the best in the business. Thank you, Aquila. The bar fridges from Bar Fridges Australia. The best bar fridges in Australia. Order one now. Rix, RIXX. Use the code word chompers for a 20% discount at Rick's Eyewear. Platform 28. Dinner for 2 at our favourite restaurant, Platform 28. Yep. Get over there and sink your teeth into that.
Probably the best pub in Victoria.
Yeah.
Best pub in Victoria.
Yeah. And AMFX. Have a look at this. Custom-made fire pits they are, Tony. You can stop those teeth chattering in the warm
give it a rest.
Your custom-made.
Give it a rest, or we'll start talking about your guts.
There it is there. They're the prizes for you. And you had a big off-season, Lukey, too, mate.
Yeah, I did. I got married a couple of months ago, so up in New South Wales. We were back there. So
that's a beautiful setting.
Originally meant to be down near Geelong, Bill, but due to COVID, we had to.
The Cremorne was closed, wasn't it?
Yeah, send it up to New South Wales.
How many could you have at the wedding?
No, we still got about 140 odd.
140,
so yeah, it was.
And
really
that's
good day.
Anthea?
Anthea, yeah. So school teacher.
Is that a nightmare for you going through, like, you've got, your list, your playing list and your support staff, and you've got to...
And do you invite the wives and who and all?
Did Clarko go?
Clarko went,
Did he play the guitar?
Oh, that would have been nice. Serenade us up the front. So Clarko was there. It is hard to whittle down your list and work out who comes and who doesn't, but it was a great day. We had an awesome day, and thanks to all our guests for making it so special.